This is the future.
Whoever thought of the Helminth expansion is a genius. I know some of you will get skeptical about what I've said, but please give a couple of minutes how good the new invigoration feature for the Helminth system, and how you can exploit it. Also, I'll give some tips on farming those Helminth resources fast so you will rank up the Helminth system in no time when the new feature comes out. We got a week or so to grind for some Helminth resources, but that won't be a problem as it's quite easy to get those needed materials if you know the method. But before we start, I would like to announce the winner of the Gara Prime Access first. Congratulations to the tenor displayed on your screen as you won the Gara Prime Access. Please check the email you used to join the giveaway as I have a message for you on how to claim your prize. Take note that I only need your in-game name and the platform you are playing. Okay, now let's begin the video. First, let me show you what is this new feature of the Helminth system that is coming in the Sisters of Parvos update. Instead of my robotic companion mumbling words, I will let Space Mom show you all the details about the Helminth expansion.
Big thank you to Pablo for sending that video, and now we'll go on to the Helminth system and what we're adding in Sisters of Parvos. The third and final part of this video takes you through what we're adding to the Helminth system. If you don't know, the Helminth system gives you the ability to infuse and subsume Warframe abilities. So every Warframe has one ability that you can take and put on other Warframes. This is something we released in the Heart of Deimos update with Sun on the Necrolisk. He can give you the upgrade segment to do this system. But he has something else now, and that is a Invigorations Upgrade segment for your Helminth. What that means is, once you go to Sun, spend the standing to get the Helminth upgrade segment, you can build it and install it and start engaging with Helminth on a weekly basis. Helminth will have what we'll call a flavor of the week, and 3 Warframes will be eligible for week-long buffs. This week, on my count, it's Gauss. I can sit and infuse Gauss to get the primary damage buff and this armor buff. I can bring Banshee to the table to get ability strength and ability efficiency buffs, or I could bring Excalibur and grab the melee critical chance buff and a heal rate for Excalibur. These are going to be determined at random, and their whole intent is to give you an option to change it up. Maybe you haven't used Banshee in a while and you might have some fun with that power strength buff. Or maybe you know Excalibur's your favorite Warframe and to get even more melee crit chance would be a dream come true for you. Whatever it is, the Helminth system will now have the Invigorations Upgrade, which is something that you'll be able to install in Sisters of Parvos. We are also adding a way to give you a little bit of control over what Warframes receive Invigorations. After you've done 10 Invigorations, which will be tracked here in the UI, your equipped Warframe will be the one that receives the next Invigoration. So if you've gone through 10, your favorite Warframe's Ember and she's never showed up, if you equip Ember and after your 10th Invigoration, you'll be able to ensure that she is the one that receives that week's Invigoration. There's more coming with the Helminth, and a keen Tenno would have noticed that there's more notches of ranks because we are adding 15 ranks to the Helminth system. Each of these ranks unlocks a corresponding universal Helminth ability that you'll be able to put on a Warframe of your choice. I'm gonna hide myself real quick and we'll take a look at these together. So let's take a look at what rank 11 unlocks, the Parasitic Armor ability. This allows you to sacrifice shields to reinforce armor for a period of time. Then at the 12th rank, we have Hideous Resistance, which grants yourself immunity to status effects. At the 13th rank, we have Voracious Metastasis, which consumes energy to heal yourself, granting matching energy to each ally. The 14th ability is the Sickening Pulse, which emits a pulse that adds stacks to status effects already afflicting enemies, except leader toxin effects, which are duplicated with fresh timers. And last but not least, the Golden Instinct at the 15th rank, which sends out a short-lived Void Spark that is drawn toward the nearest medallion, Ayatan, unscanned Curia, or unscanned Fragment. So that's for the treasure hunters out there, I am back, that are looking for a way to optimize their Ayatan farming and or their medallion hunting, because maybe they want to get all the new emotes that are coming in this update. So if you engage with the Helminth system, you'll be able to unlock these 5 additional ranks.
Aside from the new interesting Helminth abilities per rank, the Helminth Invigoration is a big thing to Warframe. First of all, it's not that big flop bonus from arbitration missions wherein it's only applicable in one mission. The new Invigoration feature of the Helminth system allows you to use a fully buff Warframe in any mission that you like, and based from what we have seen, it's 3 Warframe per week, with different buffs. And this is the number 2 advantage of the Invigoration feature. Each week, we can create a different build for Warframes available in the Invigoration system. This equals to build diversity each week, which is one of the reasons that might keep players from getting back to Warframe each week. I'm just hoping that the buff wouldn't be ordinary ones and Digital Extremes will give room for non-meta meme builds. I'm talking about not just giving us bonus damage buff, but also buffs like bonus speed, energy efficiency, shield regeneration, health regeneration. All these buffs should be included in the rotation plus more. It's like every week, we get a surprise from Digital Extremes so we can break their game using what they have given to us. Honestly, I'm pretty excited with the Invigoration feature and as well as the new Helminth abilities, especially the rank 15. It may not involve killing enemies, but its ability to find the nearest medallion, Ayrton sculpture, unscanned area, or unscanned fragment will prove to be useful in farming. You see, medallions can be turned into profit and even Ayrton sculptures, and when I say profit, this means platinum. There is a bunch of stuff you can trade with medallion and sell them for platinum. Probably, we can exploit this new feature to create another platinum gaining method in the future. While the Invigoration feature will give more build diversity every week for Warframe, not just for specific Warframes per rotation, but Digital Extremes also mentioned getting the next buff to your favored Warframe once you have reached 10 Invigorations. I'm hoping that each week, Digital Extremes will give us unique buffs, and as I've said, I'm rooting for that meta damage buffs because we can still kill enemies without those. I'm hoping for fun builds every week for each Warframes in the rotation, and maybe, we can finally see ghosts break the speed limit in Warframe. Okay, now let's talk about Helminth resources farming. Almost every resource in the Helminth system can be farmed easily with the right setup and builds. For Railjack missions, the fastest way to farm Railjack resources is through skirmish missions using your fully modded Railjack. Well, that's the problem with this. You need to have a fully kitted Railjack to farm Railjack resources fast. But honestly, I wouldn't advise going this route, as I just usually do Railjack missions to get stuff, and the resources are just secondary rewards. My advice is to focus on Steel Path survivals and open world areas to farm Helminth resources. Each secretion has specific Helminth resources that are farmable via Steel Path survivals and open world areas easily. For example, you can farm tons of mutagun samples and as well as neurods in the Steel Path survival mission in the Terra Rem node and Deimos. The Kuva survival mission in the Kuva Fortress also hold neurods, salvage, and other resources you can use for Helminth secretion. How do you find out which resources drops in certain planets, squad leader? Simply hover your cursor to the planet, click it, and then select the resource drone. This will show you the possible resources you can get from this planet. Why survival mission, squad leader? And why Steel Path survival is the easiest way to farm bulk resources other than resources like Orokin cells. Resources like hexanon, salvage, plastids, polymer bundles and other resources that you need millions of them can easily be farmed in survival missions. They also drop frequently in survival missions, and it's easier to farm them with a Koru Pilfering Strangledome build. Why Steel Path though? Well, that's easy. It's because Steel Path survival missions have a 100% resource drop chance which stack with your resource drop chance booster. When it comes to Warframe, I can still say that Korra is the fastest way to do a Helminth resource farm. A Pilfering Strangledome Korra can easily farm resources while standing still in her dome and whipping enemies with her whip claw. I just don't know if this will be applicable when the Blood Rush nerf comes to play. But for now, we got a week or so to use this method, so use it wisely and while you can. Another tip that would make the farming better is equipping the Smeeta Kavat for its resource bonus when it procs from its charm buff. Also, a quick tip is not equipping any primary or secondary so it will not re-roll the reload speed buff, and give you more chances to proc the resource buff immediately. Farming resources in Survival Steel Path has also additional perks when done with Pilfering Strangledome Korra. While farming resources for the Helminth system, you will also farm Steel Essence, which will be used to get the new mods and arcane for melee and guns when the Sisters of Parvos update drops. This is like hitting two birds with one stone, and the best part is, if Smeeta Kavat procs their resource buff, your Steel Essence will get doubled also. If you have a resource booster, you will gain 4 times Steel Essence, and if your Smeeta Kavat will proc the resource buff, you will gain 8 times the Steel Essence. Before we proceed with the open world resources, I would recommend you check out the link to the detailed Helminth resources farming at the pinned comment. There are more details there for farming Helminth resources, so if you have time, I advise that you check it out later. Now, as you know, there are also open world resources that you can use for each secretion in the Helminth system. The best Warframe I can recommend for this is either Limbo or the Broken Warframe. I call them the Crate Breaker. Limbo has his Cataclysm, which can break crates, and as well as drop those other resources that are hanging on a tree or something like that. You can use these Warframes to go into the open world areas and farm these open world resources. The build is simply high range, but if you can, max range would be recommended. Also, natural talent and high efficiency would be great, so you can spam either Cataclysm or the Vast Untime. And the most important mod is Loot Detector, which lets you find those resources or crates fast in your minimap. So what's the squad leader, Steel Path, or normal open worlds? It really depends if you don't mind administering some effort while farming Helminth resources. Expect more news about this Helminth expansion soon. We might get a few more details about additional features and guidelines on how it works. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you find this video informative and you want to see more Warframe videos from us. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
Evolution. This is the future.